this timeline really has come to full circle. It started with Passover in 2014 for the three synoptic Gospels. We had the New Covenant Passover established when Jesus was on the cross and it went dark. And that was obviously 3 hours between the 6th and the 9th hour. And that was between April 2017 and October 2017. And we're now approaching the Passover, the Levitical Passover in the Gospel of John time frame, which is the 30th and 31st of March 2018. And this final 6-month window that we have, really, for the two blood moons for the 4-night watches that we've got here for this Passover time frame for the Gospel of John, we are in the 17th day since the 6th of September. So this is why this time period is the most significant out of all of it now, because we're in the time of resurrection. Now, I've had many confirmations along the way that this timeline is right. You know, I had during the night time, obviously, when it reached the 3 a.m. marker, I saw and heard roosters, which is when the rooster would crow on the 21st of August, which was the 3 a.m. marker. And then 40 days after 40 days of the 6th of September, which was the resurrection point on the 6th of September, 40 days after that, 40 days and 40 nights, was when we had the darkness in England during the afternoon. And that was on the 16th of October. So that was after 40 days of resurrection point, which was when Jesus was taken up, ascended after 40 days. So it's kind of, we've had all these kind of signs and confirmations, and now this is really the last 6 months, and these two blood moons there with Passover and Pentecost in this time frame. Now, as I say, I've split that time frame of 6 months into 4 night watches. Have you heard anybody else preach this? Have you heard any other scholar try and work it out? No. And it's a mystery that, to be honest, I think is amazing, because we've reached Passover in the Gospel of John, which is really only 1 day difference to the three synoptic Gospels when this timeline first began in 2014. But in actual effect, it's actually been 4 years. It's been a full year term period from the first Passover in the three synoptic Gospels that happened at the first blood moon at 6 p.m., which initiates Passover in 2014. And we've gone through 4 blood moons, 4 prenumbral lunar eclipses, and 3 solar eclipses. We've now got these 2 blood moons in 2018 and 2 partial. This is, like, as I say, bookends to each other. It is a rapture window time frame that something is going to happen within these next 6 months. And this is really the Gospel of John Passover. This is when Jesus was taken down off the cross and put into the tomb, and he spent his first night in the tomb. But see, you can't, if people try and look at the Gospels, they can't work it out. They can't work out how come Jesus was crucified at 9 a.m. in the Gospel of Mark, and yet he was still with Pontius Pilate around noon. They can't work it out that when Mary goes to the tomb on resurrection, that it was, sunrise in the Gospel of Mark, and yet it was still dark in the Gospel of John. People can't understand how Jesus was able to say to the thief on the cross, "Today you will be with me in paradise," even before he spent 3 days and 3 nights in the ground. And this timeline shows everything. It makes sense of all that. But very few have believed it or even understood it. Very few. To be honest, I'm saying less than 5. But I don't even know if anyone has really truly got it. To be honest. But I'm glad that I've got it. And I'm glad that no one else has got this. I'm glad that God kept it to me, that He didn't let this revelation be shared to others, because I'm glad that He kept it just for me so that I could finish what He wanted me to do. And I'm glad that it hasn't been shared and that somebody else hasn't tried to take it on, because I think it's kept its authenticity all the way through.